Hi, and welcome to the BDM Perspective. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to take some time now to do a quick intro to tell you guys why I started this channel and blog, what it's going to be all about, and a little bit about myself. So first, this all starts with the story and how I'm feeling right now. So starting this channel and blog, I feel a little nervous, feel a little anxious about it. It's something completely new, something totally different that I've never done before. So that reminds me when I started car sales. So leave your negative connotations aside. I know how some of you guys think about car salesmen and whatnot. We can talk about that in a later video. But let me talk to you about how I got into that. So at that time, I had just recently graduated and got my degree in engineering, and I was about to finish my master's in business at that point. So needless to say, I was planning on going into the field of engineering and starting my career there. I was working with an employer at that point, doing civil engineering work, and been working with them for 3 years, and I got a letter in the mail, and it was, I was being laid off due to budget cuts. So at that point, how a lot of us feel, you panic and stuff. So I started applying to every engineering firm, every job out there, trying to figure out what to do next. Got a lot of rejection notices, try next time, you're so close and whatnot. So you feel a little depressed at that point because, you can't find a job. So a few months pass by, and I'm talking to a buddy of mine, and we're talking about, a bunch of different things, and this comes up, and he works in the car industry. So he comes with the idea, and he's just like, car sales, you should try car sales. So I was just like, what? I'm an engineer, first of all, I just don't have the sales personality for it. I'm just working on my computer, working on my calculator, and I just talk to a couple people, a day about, just random stuff. And then second, I know nothing about car sales. I drive a 94 Honda Accord, this beater of a car, and that's the only car I know about. I'm not a big car person. And so, and then my perspective changed a little bit with it, and I was just like, you know what? I've always, planned on starting a business and whatnot. This might, help me get some new skills, challenge myself a little bit, and, try something new. So I was just like, well, and I need a job. So I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot. So going into this new environment, this new, just this entire new place and stuff it was different. It was outside of my comfort zone. I did not feel comfortable at all. Meeting new people. There was a lot of different social dynamics there, with your managers and salespeople and just clients. And as you people in sales know, it can be cutthroat too among the salespeople. So it was a whole different world for me. But I got to work and I started, learning and stuff. And, first 2 months go by and I'm doing terrible. I'm at the bottom of the sales board. So what the sales board is this board in the office, the manager's office, where it shows every salesman and how many cars they'd sold that month. And I was at the bottom. First 2 months, bottom, just doing terrible. It just wasn't good. And sales is a commission style job. So if you don't make any sales, you're not making any money. And so it was the third month at that point, and I still was not doing well. It was looking like I was going to be at the bottom of the board. And I remember that point in time where everything changed. It was a pivotal moment for me, at least at that point. And I still remember it very clearly. And it was the last Saturday in the month. So Saturdays are usually the best day for sales because everyone has the day off and, they're looking around and whatnot. Last Saturday of the month, we're having this big sales event, tons of excitement. Everyone is getting crazy and stuff. And it was a really good Saturday. The salespeople were just selling left and right. It was just easy. We have another board in our sales office that shows the salesman and the car that they're selling that point. And it shows sold. So it shows how many people sold how many cars that day. And so with that board, it was just filled, everyone was selling, sold. Everyone was selling left and right. It was just super easy. Everyone was excited. Everyone was super stoked. It was just great. And I remember I hadn't sold a single car, not one. And I was so disappointed, so bummed. I mean, if you can think of it this way, think about like, you know, a game that you were in, or like a test, or just something you worked hard to try to achieve. Like, you tried and then you just failed at it. It was just a terrible feeling. Just like, a feeling of like, you're not good enough for this. Like, you shouldn't have done this. You should just quit. Like, you're not meant for this. Um, and so that feeling really sunk in and stuff. And I just, at that point in time, I was like, I should probably just quit. Like, this is not for me. I wasn't meant to be a salesman. Like, cut my losses, done. And everything changed once I changed my perspective once again. And I started thinking to myself, and I was just like, I didn't really put everything on the line. I wasn't all in at that point. And so I was like, I'm going to give it one more shot. I'm going to try it. And I'm going to go all in. So I did. And the next month, I learned as much as I could. Every training video and book that I had went through. Every YouTube video that I could find on sales to improve myself. Just shadowed salespeople, learned what they did correctly and what they did incorrectly. Every interaction that I had, I talked to everyone at the dealership. I made as many phone calls, and every interaction that I had that I didn't feel was successful, I would talk to the manager and be like, hey, what could I improve upon? What did I do wrong here? And what could I do? And they would tell me. So I tried to learn as much as I could and like tweak my process a little bit, make minor adjustments, before and after work, and see what I could do and do everything. And it paid off. That month, I was in the top 3 on the sales board. And the month after that, I was top of the sales board. And then it just continued after that. I was always up there. And so I just tell you this story to give you a perspective on what I believe and what this whole thing is about. And for me, and I lose perspective sometimes on this too, so I'm not perfect, but for me, it really seems like you got to try something, get out of your comfort zone. You're probably going to fail. So you got to learn, adapt, and change. And then eventually, with persistence, you'll succeed at it. And so a lot of the things that I've done in my life that I'm most proud of and like excited about and that have really helped me out, music, health and fitness, sales, like my relationships, like just everything that I'm passionate about has been through this process or some aspect of it. So, and I know a lot of you, it's been the same way. I mean, think about the accomplishments that you've had that you're most proud of. Something happened. You probably weren't perfect at it immediately. You weren't doing great at it, but eventually you got to a point where you actually succeeded. And so that's really what this channel is going to be about. Just a bunch of different topics talking about certain things like that and just really delving into it. So thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And remember, perspective is everything. And welcome to the channel.